Rishika, tell the background of today's call and then start.
Yes, sir. So my name is Rishika. I study in 8th and I have few questions regarding it's like a subject credit system. So where you're supposed to create like a Word document with 6 pages, you're supposed to elaborate on one single topic and then create a presentation for like 6 slides and then you're supposed to explain it. So I wanted like few information regarding each of the topics from science, social, history, and then computer and psychology.
Rishika studies in Abu Dhabi Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan School, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And she is from Kannur, Kerala. Her father hosted me for a 1 month program as director for a summer camp in Abu Dhabi. Rishika is in 8th class, right?
Yes, sir.
8th grader. Now holidays. Now
Yes, summer vacation.
summer vacation. Last summer vacation we had a camp called Moksha. Rishika was very active. Now the questions are from different subjects, right?
Yes, from different subjects.
So which are the ones?
Uh, so you
I
asked
picked up,
subjects.
it is there from maths, science,
Yeah.
ecology, and then environment science, rocketry, artificial intelligence, and then
Then discrimination, the psychology part.
yeah, then
That's it.
one question was there which I posted in my um, message was prejudice and discrimination. You asked discrimination and prejudice difference also, right?
Yes.
So we will finish that and then go to technical. That's only odd man out, or maybe prejudice and then artificial intelligence, then to the technical subjects.
Any order will be okay.
Yeah, that is because it's only slightly different. So we will. You want to know the difference between prejudice and discrimination?
Difference as well, and then like what each like what it is like.
Okay, when you analyze a English word, to understand it, it is better to look at the context in which you use. When do you use and how do you say? Dr. TPS is prejudiced. Means what? Where is the word coming
Sorry.
from? Prejudice. Anything related to some word which you know already? Does it have something to do with the judiciary, judgment? Jude, prejudiced. That's like a judgment. I already decided. Judgment is the last thing to be done, right? After analysis, I must decide what is good and what is bad. That is what the judge job. He will listen both side. I will listen to you, I will listen to somebody else, and then decide what is correct and then take a decision. That is what the judge job. Now here it says pre means what? Without hearing, I am deciding. Very clear.
Yes.
See, English learning is very easy. What you should do is look at some relation with some words which you already listened. You know the meaning. So prejudiced. So I am taking stand without even hearing the other's view is called a prejudiced. Say I can be a person who is against woman. Whatever ladies say, I don't agree. What does it mean? It's a prejudiced view. Some party, political party, whatever they do, I am against them. A prejudiced view. Whatever government says, I don't agree. Whether government does good or bad, I am not even analyzing. So, what is prejudice? Prejudice is being partial to some opinion, some decision, some character, some attitude, some belief system, some feeling which I have, which is core inside me, and I will decide accordingly without even listening to somebody's views. So, prejudice is good or bad?
Yes. It's bad.
It is bad, too bad. The other one is what? Discrimination. What is discrimination? Okay, now let us see, because we started with this prejudice is good or bad. Let me ask whether discrimination is good or bad.
It's bad.
Yeah, that is where the difference is. Discrimination is good, prejudice is bad. What is discrimination? I know I discriminate. How do I discriminate? How do I discriminate? I have to discriminate good and bad, right? Categorizing is discriminating. Which is good for me, which is bad for me, which is favorable to me, which is unfavorable to me. Looking at items critically to decide what I want, what I don't want is called a discrimination.
Okay.
But then one question. Now you are mixing two things together. One is prejudiced and discrimination. So I have to discriminate what is good and what is bad, treating equal chance for both. What is the judge job? He has to listen to A and B to decide A is correct or B is correct. So what is the judge is doing? Judge is deciding this person is good, this person is bad. Discrimination, good and bad. But assume your decision on good and bad is with a prejudiced mind. So your internal activity is called the prejudiced. What you act is called the discrimination. You understood? Nobody will know
Yes,
whether
sir.
I am prejudiced or not. I can act like non-prejudiced. But discrimination, there is an action involved. I will ask in my classroom, what? Some students should come always sit in the first bench. That is discrimination. I am asking only one student, you come and sit here in the front bench. Now, I am not prejudiced, but there are many people joined in the meeting. I am discriminating those who are showing face and those who are not showing face. I have only affinity, closeness, attachment, understand, I communicate, I am talking only to people who are showing face. That is discrimination. Correct? I am discriminating two set of people. There are people who are showing face, those people who are not showing face. It is discriminating, it is two groups. Separating group is called a discrimination. But then what is prejudice here? Assume somebody who was not showing face immediately wanted to ask a question, and I will say, no, you cannot ask question because you are not showing face. Then I am a prejudiced person. What is my prejudice? Oh, they are hiding from me is a prejudice. But actually I am not hearing from them to say what they wanted to ask. No. Am I giving equal chance? No. Second one, I already think that they don't want to show face. That is why they are only logging in, but they are not sitting in front of the computer. That's my prejudice. Not necessarily. They may have an internet problem. They may have a network problem. Probably they got just today only I posted. So they may not be even having taken bath, but still they joined. But then I can be prejudiced saying they don't want to show their face. That is why they are like this. They are not good people. That thought is prejudiced. Understood the difference?
Yes.
So acting is discrimination. thinking and feeling is prejudice. But then sometime your action is controlled by what you think, therefore it becomes a prejudiced discrimination. So discrimination as such is not bad, but prejudiced discrimination is very bad, very bad. My discrimination can be right or wrong, but that is not the idea. See, for example, based on sex, based on area, I keep saying some people from this part of the country are very bad. Not everybody is bad, but since they belong to that group, I say they are bad. That is a prejudice. I should not show prejudice. Discrimination, not bad. I have to discriminate good and bad, nice and I discriminate food. Some food I don't like, some food I like. But then if I say this person cooks, it is not good, it becomes prejudiced. Even if they cook very well, I don't like it. That means what? I am a prejudiced person. So prejudice is an internal, being prejudiced is an internal process, which Rishika even may not know that whether I am prejudiced or not. But discrimination, definitely you will know. You get it in action. Okay.
Okay.
So against discrimination, you can file a case. Because there is a proof, oh, this person showed discrimination. But against prejudice, you cannot even file a case because even you don't know. So prejudice is an internal dangerous sword. You don't know whether this person has prejudice or not. Understood? Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, it's a very good question. I never could have analyzed like this in my life if you don't ask questions. So I love people who ask questions, so that I will make myself to think and ask questions, right? Even just before I told you that prejudice is related to judgment, prejudgment, that way I never think about it or analyze it. Okay, but I keep saying prejudice is very good. No, not at all good. But discrimination, I keep saying it is very good always. Some people may not understand, like what Rishika told, discrimination. Oh, these people are discriminating. Everybody is discriminating. Who doesn't discriminate? When you get two sort of food, which one is to be taken? Don't you decide? Yeah, that is in Sanskrit, it is called Viveka Vivechana Buddhi. Viveka Vivechana Buddhi. With your thought process, you are deciding whether it is good or bad. That is called a discrimination. Okay. I don't know what is the Sanskrit for prejudice. It may not be there. Or people would not have spelt it like that. Yeah. The next one is artificial intelligence. You read that question?
Yeah. According to you, what are the sectors or industries where artificial intelligence will be playing a major role, and like why?
Yeah. If somebody has to write an article, you have to write for each of these topics 6 pages? Or altogether 6 pages?
No, each of them 6 pages.
Okay. Then if I am writing, the first word I write is where artificial intelligence will be playing a major role is an out of question. You should ask where it doesn't play a role should be the question. You understood? This is like asking how electricity is influencing technological development. You should ask, without electricity, is there a technological development? That should be the question, right?
Yes.
So similarly, artificial intelligence, now everywhere it is applicable. It's every day when you are working. Tell me one example where artificial intelligence is used.
The speech recognition?
Yeah, speech. Your Siri. On your phone you have a Siri, right? You are able to ask question. Now when you ask question, tell me today's weather. Immediately it will tell you the weather of where? Will it tell about the weather in New York? Eh? It will tell the weather of your place. Correct? Abu Dhabi. It will not tell India weather. When I am asking, it will tell Hyderabad weather only. How is it telling? So your Alexa, your Siri on your smartphone, on any computer, you keep asking Google some question. Immediately, it will assume that you ask the distance from distant to the mall. Just type mall only. It will immediately tell you the mall, not in some other city, your city. So it is picking up the information that you are staying in so and so place, your latitude, longitude, the time you are asking. When you search for some place, immediately it will tell you it is closed. How is it telling it is closed? Do you think the shop fellow has told that it is closed?
No.
It knows no activity is happening there, nobody is entering into that building. So the location is identified and seen whether in that location whether somebody is going or not, whether somebody is coming out from that or not, because your phone is being tapped all the time. Who is tapping it? Artificial intelligence. Every information collection, big data, smartphone, computers, every smart device, that's why it is called smart. The word smart is used, that means it is intelligent. Oh, Rishika is smart means what? She is very intelligent. She looks at 360 degree all the time, immediately response will come. So what is smartphone? Immediately response will come. That's it.
Yeah.
It will tell you everything. Now you have a Google, Gmail. You send a Gmail saying that no, I am traveling to so and so place on so and so date. On that day, you can see when you plan something, immediately Google will ask you, are you not planning to travel today? Because you have sent an email to somebody else. From that email, collection is data is taken. So there is no secret because the smart fellow is looking at you every time. So this is in the digital world. Now where is it used? It's used in manufacturing, everything. Now I have to manufacture something. A telephone has to be manufactured. What do? First you make a prototype of it. How the prototype is made?
Prototype means?
Yeah, prototype means I will not make a cell phone first. How the look and feel? How does it look like? So what is done is in the manufacturing system, they have got a powder coated item which is almost look like you are making a dummy phone to get the look and feel. Oh, whether it is holding is correct, whether the weight is correct, whether when I hold it like this, whether the sound will come perfectly or not. Do you think I will make a phone and then do it? No. Before making a house, what do we make? We make a model of the house. Now it can be done digitally, but earlier it is done physically. Now you want to make a big mall. What they will do? They will make a model. Prototype model will be there in front of the building. Oh, this is how the building will look like later. When you take a picture, this is how it will take. When you take a picture of this and picture of that, it will look same. Before anything comes, you are making it a model is called the prototyping. So there are prototyping equipments. All that is controlled by artificial intelligence today. Not even manufacturing. Making design is also a artificial intelligence. I went to one of the AI artificial intelligence university in America. The beautiful corridor. The corridor has got steps where people can climb on top, but everywhere when you climb you can see the other portion of the ladder is vacant. No, it is blank. What they have done is they have made a sitting place there. So everybody can take few steps, sit there. So it's like a resting place in between. The lift is there, but other than that, the steps are beautiful. Everybody allowed to climb because you will see sitting place there. And you can sit and read. It's like a small study place. And you can see the whole building there. And on top of the building, there is a sound detector kept. Assume that you make your steps with a lot of noise. When somebody climbs, they make a lot of noise. You know what will happen? Immediately on the top of the place, there is a sound detector and a small feather sort of a bell, the bell will start making sound. Ting, 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 ting. If you make too much sound, that sound also will increase. So it is telling you keep quiet, keep quiet. Understood? So definitely when you make step sound, immediately some other sound comes, we will keep quiet and see what is happening. And that sound will slowly go out. I told you there are a lot of places to sit, no? So if two people sit there and start shouting, what will happen? The whole corridor will be noisy. But that noise will not be heard at all, because when somebody speaks, immediately this feather will start making noise. It's like a wind noise or maybe some small chirping noise. So many sound will come. Okay. So in the Indiana University, Dr. TPS, I have put a video there in my Indiana University. That's Indiana University. That is actually an artificial intelligence center. And what did they do? They show how artificial intelligence can be used even to make a corridor silent, beautiful. Like you feel like when we love to hear some nice song or music when you read. And when no sound is there, it will give you a small sound of maybe some chirping sound, maybe some wind sound. It is inside an air-conditioned room, but you get a small sound of a wave in the sea. How beautiful it will be.
Yes.
See, can you imagine artificial intelligence can be used like this? Now, there are thousands of railway network running in some cities. Aircraft is going from different parts of the world, aircrafts are coming. How are we managing the air traffic flow in, say, Dubai? Abu Dhabi is a little smaller airport, but Dubai airport you have seen, right? Huge airport. How do they manage this? And there are from one terminal to another terminal, train is running. Do you think the train is being run by a driver? It's a autopiloting. What is autopiloting? It will tell you whether some train is coming, whether the traffic is enough, whether it is reaching at the railway station or not. It is also detector, camera. So transportation. Now Tesla is running. Tesla is having a new car where you don't require even to drive. Your smartphone is driving Tesla. You tell that I am standing here, come. The car will automatically switch on and come and stand in front of you. So where is the driver? Driver is artificial intelligence. So Tesla is a car which is run with artificial intelligence. Now you are driving. I remember my first experience of traveling in Tesla, not driving. Because nobody drives. It is smartphone who drives. So whether you drive or your friend drive, it doesn't matter at all. Now assume after so much distances, probably 1 hour you are not even touching the steering. You can travel 1 hour without touching the steering. But how do Tesla knows that you are there or not inside the car? It knows the weight of the seat. The weight is measured. Oh, you are there. But then how do the Tesla knows you are sleeping or not? So sometime it will make a noise and then tell you, I am going to stop. Please touch me. So if you touch the steering, it will know, oh, you are not sleeping, you are awake. And both sides, it's beautiful. The display system will show you two cars coming from both sides. It is honking too much. So the speed of the car behind you is measured to see whether you have to give place for the car to go, whether you have to change the lane. Everything is decided internally. The car coming from opposite direction, everything is measured. The distance between them is measured because there are a lot of cameras. Rear camera, side camera, everything is measured, and that's how Tesla runs. If you have not seen Tesla test run, you can see a digital test run. It will tell you how transportation uses artificial intelligence. Manufacturing, look at prototyping. I have seen all these, not now, maybe 5 years, 6 years back, I went to smart manufacturing system. I did a training program on smart manufacturing. Artificial intelligence based manufacturing. There is an institute here called IPE, Institute for Public Enterprises. So I went there and attended. And there is a university, Usmania University. It has got a prototyping lab. People can go and then start. You pay the money and then you can use that. So I went there to use that sometime. So I'm not telling from what is read or in the Google or Wikipedia. That's why when you ask question, I can just come and see, because everything I've done in my life. Now earlier, if I want to make a hole, when you make a cell phone, there are a lot of holes to be made. One plugging, one camera, one button here. All these are computer manufactured and then fed in computer. Numerically managed mission is what is making these holes in the cover. Say, assume you have to make a cover. The cover has got lot of holes in different places. How is it done? It's all numerically controlled. And that whole equipment is a smart equipment. Tool designing. Designing itself. Now, just now we told information technology. Now all the data systems. Now, retail marketing. Assume that you have Friday in your big market, supermarket, Lulu supermarket. I don't know whether they are using or definitely they must be using. How many products are there? Thousands of suppliers, thousands of product from different places comes and dumps there. Now assume a milk drink. Friday most of the people will go and buy, right? The last 1 year statistics, July, now this is second Friday or third Friday? Third Friday. The July 3rd Friday, maximum number of people will come and buy milk drinks. So one specific product of milk drink is being sold 1,000 packets every third Friday in that mall. Do you think the shopkeeper is going to count whether Thursday evening whether 100 is there or not in the stock?
No.
If there is only 35, I have to fill another 65 so that tomorrow Friday when customer comes it is available. How do I decide 100 is there in the stock? See, there is a mechanism to count automatically. It may depend on the weight, the carrier. Don't think that it is a steel rack. Under the steel rack there may be a weighing machine, or there may be a counting machine which says how much, or the billing system will tell how many were sold earlier and how much is the balance. Because everyday supply, you know how much is being sold. It is automatically computed. So you make a table, and that table should connect with the previous statistics of how many sales happens every week. That to every Friday, that to every third Friday, that to every third Friday in July. That is because you have got the festival coming. Therefore, the food item will have more demand. See, it knows which is the festival coming. It's like a housemaid or house lady who knows what the stock in her kitchen has to be put, because tomorrow there is going to be a festival coming. I have to cook more. You imagine 1,000 products being computed like this, and if there is less stock, immediately without even the shopkeeper knows, the order goes to the supplier, go and fill up another 65 item on my rack. So supplier will come and put there. Even the counter fellow, the owner, the manager even doesn't know how this is coming. Automatically the supplier knows whether I have got sufficient stock or not. How do they know? That's all artificial intelligence. How it is controlling, it is called supply chain management. See, so far I did explain this because one word I know. That word is called supply chain management. Inventory control, supply chain management, everything connected to information technology, marketing. This is also marketing, right? Suppose your company who is supplying doesn't have this facility to understand this, he will not be able to market his product. So today marketing is also, I don't have to go and tell this item is available. Sir, you keep the rack, I will know when your item has to come, I will automatically fill. Don't you go to that supplier? Will you not buy that product? Everything. Now your car will show indicator. What is that indicator? Petrol is less, diesel is less. Now when you drive, the Google map will tell you this traffic is too large. Who is telling the traffic is too large? Whether somebody is telling there is a traffic jam there, Automatically every Google map is recorded by the Google on top of the earth, and it will tell you which road has got a problem, where there is traffic jam. Because all the phone gets stuck there, no movement in the Google map. That means it is stuck. Now assume when you are taking a round there, automatically the traffic is too bad, or maybe there is a bridge connecting and everybody is taking a turn before the bridge and going back, or every car is going reverse and then taking a U-turn and going. Immediately Google map will say the bridge is collapsed. Otherwise you will wait generally, right?
Yeah.
And when everybody telephones there, some telephone comes, hey, bridge is broken, some fire is coming, the telephone goes to fire station, every information is collected, immediately Google will tell there is a fire there, don't move. Who told Google that there is a fire? Every activity which I do on my phone is also getting recorded. 100 people are doing, immediately those information will get collected, collaborate each other and decide and tell you that this is what is happening there. What a great system. Is it not artificial intelligence? Do you want extra? I can speak hours together on this. Augmented reality, artificial intelligence, machine learning. It's called machine learning. When I speak, I say that, no, I tell my Google, I have got a Google Home, smart Google Home. So if you ask what is DRTPS telephone number, immediately it will tell. Because they know that my name is Dr. TPS. I don't know whether in your house it will come or not. You can check.
I'll check.
Now you have put your house DRTPS location map in Google Map. But the Google Map is connected to your Google Home. So you ask where is Nanam Dr. TPS. It will immediately take you to the Google Map and tell you this is at this place. It is closed. It is not, no activity happening there for last 2 years. It is closed. That's what they will say. Because my house is closed. I am not going there. Understood? Otherwise, if I am there, definitely at least 10 people will come every day to see me. So Google Map knows that Dr. TPS is there because 10 people are searching for Google Map or Nanam. Now today nobody is searching. So this is what? Machine learning. Augmented reality. It is used in education. Maximum used in education. Smart learning. You ask a question immediately when Rishika asks, immediately it will tell you some website. Now your phone is connected, your telephone is connected, your internet is connected to your television. Now you play something on your YouTube. When you switch on your TV, immediately you go to YouTube, it will show all that earlier previous list what you have seen. Your father will know which are all the sites you have gone without even asking you. If somebody in the house is using, somebody in your network is using, immediately the television will tell you. So be careful. If you are not smart enough, they will catch in which site you have seen, what you have seen. Understood? It's very simple. If I know Neelima's login somewhere, even your Facebook or your Twitter or your anything, any connection, because everything is connected today. What a beautiful system, but most dangerous system also. You are being viewed by everybody else. That is why it is called smart. That is why it is called artificial intelligence. See, almost 25 years back, why are you asking today? 25 years back, which button is to be used for the trouser which is being given to a military fellow? Because they will have to get ready fast for an activity. If the button is a normal button, it will take this much time. If button is a different type, it will not. And it should not, the hook should not go because you will do all exercise. So which button is to be used? Artificial intelligence was used to define which button is to be used. One of my colleague was working in that almost 30 years back from my department, went to America to learn this technique. So don't think artificial intelligence is a new system. It started nearly 30 years back in India or 50 years back in India. It must be 100 years back in America. And now what is happening? Fourth industrial revolution. Learn this. Fourth industrial revolution. It is full of machine learning, artificial intelligence, which is going to control the whole manufacturing, transportation, everything. People will have only job to do such. Now catering services. In most, you look at artificial intelligence used in the chef who supply items. There are hotels in which 10,000 supply activity happens with hundreds of robots. No individual, no people, everything, including billing, is done. Item rejected is counted. Robotics. Robotics is full of artificial intelligence. It is used in military. I wanted to detect something, whether it is a bomb or a ball. How do I do? I scan item and then find out whether there is electronics. Everything is done. So whatever human can do, those are being done by artificial intelligence, robotics, machine learning, augmented reality, everything. So question should be, where is it used, is a old question. It's a 30 years back question. Now what should be asked? Where it is not used. Medical, treatment. Doctor need not be there. The doctor, without even being there, an assistant doctor or somebody else can do. Even surgery, pinhole surgery, picking up the radiation affected, only one cell can be removed. Everything is controlled by. Okay, so nanotechnology, everything. Now I cannot see, but mission can see. Okay, so many areas where I cannot approach. Either it is the minimum thing or the biggest thing. Everything is being. I keep watching beautiful pictures of how agriculture is being done with artificial intelligence, how road development is done, how trafficking is done, how aircraft control is done. You keep looking at YouTube. Every technology used in different places can be beautifully learned. Okay, now you have a pavilion coming in Dubai, in the Dubai show. The whole world is getting different buildings, Indian building, different, the wall itself keep on changing based on the time and the sunlight. The sun, whether you need to have a tint glass so that the light inside the room will become less or not will be decided by looking at what light is outside. The transparency of your glass is controlled. What a mechanism. Scanners. Beautiful. Everything is automated now. If you are not into this, you are an outdated fellow. You are all, most of us are tribals probably. We don't know what is happening in the world. Correct? Have you seen my picture with a tiger beside? Augmented reality. I was teaching augmented reality to some teachers. They said, oh sir, it's very difficult to know. How do we learn this? I said, between the class itself, I was showing this picture and then sending it. Augmented reality. This is how application. In the LKG class, you can show this. You don't have to show pictures now. You can take the lion can roar, everything. Multimedia. Yeah. The next question. Good enough.
Is there any document which I can refer for this topic?
You must just took which area you want. Artificial intelligence, neural network. Another word which that's all part of it. Machine learning. And then say which education. Then you will get actual education, because too much of information. So what is exactly required? What you do is, don't put at the Google search, or maybe on the top you can type it and then see one paragraph which comes there and then read it and then pick up some idea and then start expanding yourself. Otherwise it will become cut and paste. No, don't do that. You must understand and write in your own words. That's why I'm saying nobody will write like this. Is there any field which is not applicable when you write? That shows you know this field, right? That's how I started. Now you tell me, is that the question you should ask? Is there anything else which is not in the world which is not used? I will tell you selection of a shirt, artificial intelligence. Now you have to find a shirt which, oh, I remember in so and so movie, N.T. Ramarao in 1970 was using a shirt and the design was so beautiful, I want similar shirt. I don't even remember which movie, but I can just type in NTR, so and so movie between shooted from, and somebody else was acting in that movie. Some XYZ information you give, everything is connected immediately. It will tell you this is the movie, this is the color of that scene will come in front of you, and then you pick up and then send it to somebody else. Immediately the order can be placed. Artificial intelligence based ordering items, taking measurements. You don't even have to give your measurement. The tailor will use artificial intelligence to take your measurement. Do you think the cinema stars will go and stand in front of a tailor to take the measurements, length and breadth? From the different movie, different pictures, the measurement is automatically made. You send your 10 pictures, they will do everything for you.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah.
Then it's like the journey of zero from India to Arabia and to modern mathematics.
See, zero is there in most of the Vedic texts. Shunyam. Okay. Similarly, infinity is also there. Any chanting is coming in your mind? With infinity? That is called Purnam. Purnam means infinity. Shunyam means nothing. Opposite of Shunyam is?
Purnamadaha.
Yeah.
Hari Om.
Yes.
Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam.
Purnat Purnamudachyate. Purnasya Purna. What does that mean?
Purnamadaha.
Infinity minus infinity is infinity. Infinity plus infinity is infinity. Purnam means infinity. Opposite of Purnam is Shunyam. So we know what is the biggest number, infinity. We know the smallest number, Shunyam. But that is Vedic system. That's in the chanting. We know number system also. With the 10 number system, we had all 10 number system. Ekam, Shatam, Dasham, Shatam cha. There is Rudra mantra. Ekam cha, Shatam cha, Sahasram cha, Ayutam cha, Prayutam cha, Diyutam cha, Vayutam cha, Kayutam cha. It goes up to 10 power 57. So that means we know zero. But that is not important. That is only Vedic system where you cannot prove. These are all Shruti. Somebody chanted. But then what we should look at in the modern mathematics, before modern mathematics, maybe in the AD, not BC. In the AD itself, when the number system was there, we had got different number systems. One is called Brahmini number system. Another one is called Hindu number system. Another one is called Arabic number system. Another one is called medieval number system. And then it came to modern number system. Okay. Now Rishika must be thinking how I am remembering this Brahmini, Hindu, Arabic and medieval, right? Okay. I remember because there is a degree called BHM, Bachelor of Homeopathy Medicine. There is called a Bachelor of Ayurvedic Medicine. Now what I told is BHAM, Bachelor of Ayurvedic and Homeo Medicine. Brahmini, this is how I by heart sometime. You need to make your own shortcuts. Brahmini, Hindu, Arabic, medieval and came modern. Okay. So what happened after Hindu, Arabic? That's why after Hindu, Arabic. Where does Hindu came from? Hindu is decimal system. Arabic those days did not have a decimal system. Brahmini also did not have a decimal system with the 10 number system was not there. Roman. Now Roman doesn't have 0. You have only 10 and 9. What is it done? Before 10 you put 1. It becomes 9. After 10 you put 1. It becomes 11. Is it not an old barbarian system? That's called Roman system. So Roman system is much old. Okay. So when such a system was there, now Arabic people, there are a lot of stories which may be controversial. So we will not go into such controversies. Those people who came from Arabia to India for business, they also took some of these number system and then started spreading in. Those time Iraq is called Babylonia. Iraq is called Babylonia. Okay, you will say Babylonian civilization. Don't get confused what is Babylonian and all that. The Babylonian is Iraq. So Babylonia and India, Bharat was very close. That means Iraq and India was very close. Now you have a question, Arabic number system. So when I establish Bharat and Babylonia, we know India and Arabic. If you use these two words and underline, oh, people think you understand this. When it started even before AD. It is not Muslims. Don't think that Arabic means Muslims, because Babylonia Muslims were not there. Babylonia is an old civilization before Muslims came. Muslim, Christian are all in the AD system. BC itself we had Babylonia, Mesopotamia. These are all old civilizations. During that time itself, people had a relationship.
Okay.
So that is where the zero went to Arabia. Today's Arabia. But today's Arabia is old Babylonia. And that was called Babylonian number system. So the Babylonian number system and Bharatiya number system were together. So there was some connection. Then you had Europe. The Egypt, Greece. It is not called Europe. You will not see. Rome, Egypt, Greece. These were much famous than Europe. They had a Roman number system. You see, Roman number system, even today, it is barbarian. I told you, 10, put one on the left and put one on the right. So they are not developed. But Arabic number system got developed with the Indian influence. Otherwise, Arab is in the middle. Bharat here, Rome and Italy and all that people there, Egypt and all there. So Arabic people would have got influenced from Europe and Bharat. Which one they took? Did they took Roman or did they took Indian? They took Indian. And after that the whole world took Indian. So, but because Arabic people were transferring to Europe and Western country, it was called Arabic number system. Otherwise, from zero from India, it went to Arabic. The 10 number system, from there it went to Europe. When it would have happened when business happened across the world. That may be in 13th century to, maybe that is the time when we had a different Aryabhadiyam and all that came. Pi has come, Bhaskaracharya has come. All these people have done a lot of mathematics those days. And that is where they connected with China, Russia, Gulf, and then from through that they went to the Europe and all. So zero was added as part of the number system. Otherwise only counting number was there. Probably that would have happened during this time. You can look at the date and when it happened and all that. So look at zero becoming part of number system and made whole number. Then they wanted to have negative numbers, positive numbers. The integers came, real number came, rational number, irrational number. Many systems got developed. And that is how the pi came. But you look at pi, pi is invented in India. Sangameshwara, Madhavacharya, all these people worked with pi. They are from Thrissur, Iringalakuda. Sangameshwara is Sangama Gramam is called Iringalakuda today. So Madhavacharya's place is very close to my wife's house. My wife is from Iringalakuda. So after Thrissur, between Thrissur, Kodungalur and Ernakulam, that is there. So pi developed means they developed not only the number system zero, full number system, real number system, integer, all that was developed. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe you can also refer to some of the books of Brahmagupta, Madhavacharya's book. So it's like not just zero, because of zero, rational number, irrational number, real number system, everything got developed. Yeah.
Then it's about oil spill, sorry. Effects of oil spill.
Last two, the effect of oil spill in the ocean. oil is, what will happen if you take a crude oil and then drink? Any animal which drinks will definitely will die. Okay. Not only assume you pour lot of oil to a small plant which you are growing. Definitely the mud will get stuck. The inside the vein, the every root is also drinking water, right? Instead of that, is oil is injected inside, what will happen? It will not be able to drink water after that. So not only animals, the plants also will get affected. The whole thing together is called ecosystem in the ocean. So oil spill not only affect some of the living being, it affects the whole ocean. And assume that you put some oil in a mud. In the land when you pour oil, only that neighboring area will get affected. But when you pour it in sea, what will happen? Every sea is connected. It spreads very fast.
Okay.
That is the biggest problem. Assume on the road the oil is being poured. Nothing will happen. Only that portion of the land will have effect. You can remove that mud and then take it somewhere and then put it. Yes, removing oil from a land is very easy. Is it removing oil from a sea is easy?
No.
And where do you get oil from? You are digging from the, and most of the oil wells are under the water in the sea. Not only the ship goes, when the oil is being drilled, assume it comes out finished, and you have lot of vehicles moving, like ships. Number of ships moving in the water is much more. Now when a vehicle moves in oil, what will happen? It can skid. Assume it gets fired, what will happen? The whole thing will fire. Where it will fire? Wherever it is spread. Assume that the oil spill in the sea get a fire. It will spread the whole area. Controlling is difficult. To control fire in land, you can put water. But if the water itself is burning, what will happen? Imagine the situation. Okay, so it's actually the ecosystem is getting totally burned, polluted. The oil spill is one of the biggest poison, because 70% of the earth is water, which are all connected to each other. Land is disconnected. One village to another village, the spread will not happen very fast. You can always put a barrier and say people don't go out here and there. That's what is happening, lockdown and all. But in water you cannot have lockdown. Under the water also it will go. You can put a barrier and say you don't move. But undercurrents are there. Under the water there are sea, like a river running under the water. There is up and down in the sea. Therefore from Pacific Ocean water will flow to Arabian Ocean. From Arabian Ocean water will flow to Indian Ocean. There is you can imagine there is a river running under the water. The salinity connection, the salt content is being transferred from one place to another place. So oil spill is a big problem, and after some time the temperature of the water comes less, it will get clotted, then it will become a black sea. Look at the Black Sea. All pollution gets settled there and you can walk on that. It will become tar, asphalt. It is like a road on the top of the sea. Solid. Because oil is also one product, tar is also another product, which is used for tarring your road. That is also one byproduct of oil. What you use for polythene, cover, plastic, that is also oil. They are all byproducts. Your thermocol is a byproduct of oil. Petrol, diesel, gas, thermocol, plastic, sulfur, tar, Everything is from same oil refinery. I have visited many oil refineries in my life. You will see one side tar is being produced, one side diesel, one side liquor. Company also will have all these byproduct, but liquor is from a eatable, edible item. But other products, most of these products are from under the earth, where oil is dug and then refined in different product size. Okay. If you have not seen the movie called Seaspiracy, I referred it many times. Seaspiracy is a beautiful movie which says how the ecosystem in the sea will influence the people. So, affecting the ecosystem in the sea will influence human beings also. So, that is a beautiful movie which you can refer to understand what will happen to the human being, impact on that. The effect of oil spill not only in ocean, once it affects ocean, it will also affect a human being, all other living being in the planet, all the plants in the planet. Because even assume I have got a pond and I don't want the water to get evaporated, and then during summer all the water in the pond will become evaporated. There is a mechanism to save the water. You know what is that mechanism? You can do this experiment in Nilima. I'll give you a beautiful experiment on this. Take 2 glasses of water, put it in the sunlight. In one glass, you just put the glass with water. In the another glass, you put water, and on top of you put little oil. Because of density, the oil will go and settle on the top. That will become a layer. And the sunlight will never make it to evaporate. The glass without oil top, the water will get evaporated. If there is oil on the top, water will not get evaporated. That's how some people save water for the field in which they wanted to water the plants. You know what do? They pour oil on top. So evaporation will not happen. They can store it for 1 year. Another method is to grow some plants on top of it. So the sunlight will not hit, it will not get evaporated. There are specific plants, algal plants, which can be put on top of the water. So these are all different mechanisms. Understanding the water mechanism. Now what will happen if oil is spilled and the whole oil is on the top of the sea? You will get less rain. Who knows, in Arabic countries and all, rain is less because of oil spill. Because oil wells are there, oil is there on top of the water. Possible. People have to do lot of research. It is not marine life alone, it is the human life also in danger. Plants are also in danger. Because floating on top of the water, the oil will always float on top. It will have light goes inside the water will also get reduced. When the light doesn't go, the fish inside the water, under the water also will have problem. The plant which is growing under the water also need sunlight which penetrates through the water. That also will stop. The plant life inside that also will be lost. And the plant cannot come out to breathe. Because it never knows, it won't only grow under the water. So many ways. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the sound of music and its effects on biological system.
Not only music. I have posted one small video. My son posted, I think I subscribed and shared it on me also. I posted on Facebook. If not, I will do that. For this video also I will post that. I have got a farm, little bit of vegetable garden here, just beside my house, backyard. And bitter gourd is growing now. So what I did was I put my GoPro there for 8 hours. And how the bitter gourd is going and catching the rope beside. If there is a rope, you put a rope there for that to climb. The bitter gourd, it will go and then try and catch there, and it will become a spring-like thing, it will catch. Have you seen that?
Yes, yes, sir.
And it is not that simple, because the rope, it's on either it is a rope or a stick or a branch of a tree. With the whole wind, this rope also will start tinkling, it will start dancing. And you see in the GoPro beautifully, you know what it does. This, if this is the bitter gourd spring which is going to grow, it will go around 360 degree to check whether there is something which I can catch. It keeps on rotating 360 degree, not in one direction, all the directions, up, down, everywhere it will keep on touching and see whether it is very strong enough. You give a non-strong one, it will not catch. It will not use it. It will go under that and then search whether there is some stronger one or not. Do you think that that creeper has got an eye to see? And in that GoPro, you will see poor fellow, he catches something, but then a heavy wind comes, it comes out, again it lost. You know how much difficult. So from that day onwards, what do? I don't give too much of pain to this. I keep on keeping lot of branches on all sides so that let it grow. And once it is put, no, the growth is too fast. If you don't give a support, it will grow slow because it is spending all the energy. And that day, what happened was I kept in the morning. The morning it started going. By lunchtime, it became too tired and the sunlight was too harsh. So it was taking rust. Can you imagine the plant taking rust? It bent down. It was almost like if you look at it, it's like a dancing girl. The small leaf was there. So it was taking rust. And after some time, it again started by evening. Another search. 360 degree. What a brilliance. Can you imagine the brilliance of a tree? Brilliance of a branch? Now assume I keep on going and talking and then giving a branch there and saying, don't worry, I am there to support you. Now I have seen it doesn't go around and check. Yeah, something I got, it will catch because I have given a new branch. And I am telling this branch is for you to grow and then give a small hand and then put them around. Don't you think that you can talk to? I told you the other day, I was talking in some other turn, I said, that generally Tulsi will grow only 2 feet. In my office in Delhi, I hardly got visitors. And in that big office, near the window, 2 feet below the window, there is a light slit. Delhi is like that. The majestic old building. European style building. It's like a French window. The window itself starts from the floor. 2 feet. Then the normal 4 feet which you can open. The 2 feet below you cannot open. Then 4 feet. Then on top you have got a ventilator which is another 2 feet. So the total window becomes 8 feet. I kept a small desk and then on top I put a small basket in which I planted a tulsi. Almost 1.5 years, every day I water. If I go on Friday, I will keep one mug with a small hole. So the small drip of water will give up to Monday. Monday morning, I will go and talk to and then say Namaste Tulasi Kalyani, Namaste Krita Sachine. Keep on chanting some mantra. That's where I started learning my mantras. The tulsi had got one leaf which is of my hand size. And it grew 8 feet. I have not seen 8 feet anywhere. After that, every visitor who comes from the ministry, high officials will come to see the lab, what is happening technically in my office. Everybody was brought into my room to see my tulsi. One of the attraction was tulsi in the visit. And I was deputy director. My director had a different room. But when I vacated immediately, director came and occupied my room because of the tulsi. He was waiting for me to get out of the room so that he can come inside and sit. I don't know what happened now. But that's a beautiful. So this shows if you keep on talking to the tree, it understands your psychology. It understands your way of behavior, songs, musics, chanting mantra, everything can be understood. The plant, the nature has got a beautiful knowledge. I'll tell you, we all come from same place, no, Rishika. Anusha is also from Kannur, right? There is a Paidal Mala. Paidal Mala is there. So Paidal Mala was once upon a time huge forest area. My father was young during that time. He used to go to that Paidal Mala that was our land. The whole area was ours. And there are specific traditional plant which is called Angarappad. Angarappad is a phrase, a quote which says it is difficulty. But actually, traditionally, it is it's a plant name. What does it do? The plant, if there is some human being, the plant will go and then hit the human being on the head and make injuries. 20 feet away also it will come and hit you. Have you heard about plant attacking somebody? Because plant knows whether you are going to nearby that. No, you are not supposed to go. Have you not seen plant disturbing people? No? There are small leaves, once you touch, you will start getting itching. You go and touch there, it will start getting itching. You cannot even stop and it will start bulging like a snake bite or maybe a bee's bite. Tottavadi. I don't know what is it in English. Once you touch, automatically the leaf will go close. And that's big fun. You just touch, it will close. And after some time, it will open.
It's called a touch me not.
Yeah, touch me not. Yeah. So there are a lot of plants which are close to human, which are not close to human, close to some animal, not close to some animal. The smell of the plant will tell when it will grow, when it will not grow. It understands the nature, understand which direction it has to go. The sunlight, sunflower automatically in the morning will be to the east. As the sun goes, it will turn to the west. Beautiful scene. You go to see the sunflower. Morning it will be like an antenna to the sun. Evening the antenna will go on the other side as the sun goes. Does it not have the sense of direction? Now Vriksha Ayurveda, that is a traditional Indian text. If you have a plant which has got a branch which is growing to the east, when you cut it for budding, you should only plant it to the east branch. If you do it on the west, the chance of growing is less. That means plant understands directions. Plants understand psychological, physiological, nature, light, everything is part of its life. Now one plant knows how to protect the other plants also. How do the plant has got a connection with the other animals? There are some seeds, if only the bird eats and in the excreta it goes, then only it will grow. If you plot it directly, it will not grow. That is because the seed should not fall there. The plant will have no place to grow because it's a huge tree. Such trees, the seeds have to grow only when it is taken far. Who will take the seeds far? Nature. Animals are also part of nature. Birds are also part of nature.
Yes.
Okay, so there are many seeds which will only grow when it goes there. So there is a life connected between one animal, one plant, one seed, one fruit, one fly. Everything is connected. That is called ecosystem. Ecosystem is not plants alone, not animals alone, not visible, not invisible. Every living being together. And it is contextualized, integrated. Social effects are also there. Biological effects are there. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Then it's about the orbiting debris, the space junk as an environmental threat.
Yeah, generally in the space you have got different planets. Each planet have got a gravity. So one gravity to the other gravity to the other gravity is what is balancing and it is not falling. Patat Agrishti Shaktistu Mahitaya Yat Gastvam Swabhimukam Sushaktya Agrishyate. It gets attracted to each other. Assume somebody is pulling me from here, somebody is pulling me from there. Where do I go? I will have a resultant vector. Both sides my hands are being pulled by two people of equal strength. Unequal strength, I will go closer to that. Wherever is more force. But equal strength, I will take a middle path. But then all that is balanced in the space because each one is getting attracted, pulling to each other. That's what is pulling. And that is called universal gravity G. So any item which is put in the orbit, including our satellites, moon, or any moon of any other planets, all of them are going around the other planets, or planets are going around the sun, and all the solar system going in the galaxy, all these are balanced system. It's all moving like that without any extra force to be applied. It is spinning by itself because of the non-friction torque. It is just moving. Nobody can stop it. To stop only you require force. Newton's second law. It continues its state of rest or uniform motion unless it is influenced by an external force. There is no external force in the space. Therefore, it keeps on moving in its own style. Now the question is, you are sending artificial satellites. INSAT, IRS, ArabSat, every country is sending space shuttle. Everything is being sent into the space. It is not an atmosphere. Above atmosphere. Atmosphere is 140 kilometers. Environment is only that much. So your question is, space junk as what?
As an environmental threat.
No, environment, nothing will happen. In the space it is put. Now the problem is, from the space will it come to environment? How are you placing in the space? A very specific weight item depends on the weight when I push down the atmosphere with the universal gravity capital G. Because I am putting it close to my earth, because I am posting only, from earth only it goes. So I have got a small g, which is my earth gravity. In the atmosphere, above the atmosphere, up to the atmosphere, earth gravity is influencing. Above the atmosphere in the space, little earth gravity, but other universal gravity is more influential. Are you understanding what I am saying? The atmosphere environment is part of the earth itself. That is why earth is not moving alone. Along with the atmosphere and the environment is also moving. The air is also moving, not the solid earth. If only solid earth is moving, the air is not moving, we all would have been flooded away. So atmosphere is 140 kilometers, is also moving. So don't think earth is moving. Around the earth, the air, buildings, everything is going on like this in the uniform style, right? So above that is space. Where you push something, it will stay there based on the weight. How do I determine my satellite IRS have to stay in 800 kilometer? The weight of the satellite will determine where it has to stay. It's balanced and kept there. Now my problem is, once it has got an energy, once it has got a weight, it balances there and it goes around the earth. I am sending some other satellite. What is the guarantee that it will not hit this satellite which is already placed there? I am having a space shuttle. The space shuttle is like a 5-storied building. You must see space shuttle. I can go from one ground floor to another ground floor. China will go and connect one bottom. Russian will come and connect on the side. So it's like apartments being built. It's like a big apartment in your Abu Dhabi. 13 floor or 100 floors also sometime. And may have 100 different apartments. It's like a huge building. When I am sending the rocket and satellite, how do I know it doesn't hit that? So its positions to be understood by my receiving station, where I know this is where the space shuttle is, this is where the space shuttle is, this is where earlier plant is, so that I will only push my vehicle below, in between that. Because space is too large, don't think that it is very small like what I am showing. And it is not 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, it is 200 kilometer above. So 200 kilometer above, the circumference is too large. 10,000s of kilometers. Above that 800 kilometer height, 36,000 kilometer height, GPS is 20,000 kilometer height. At different heights only I am putting. So if at all there are debris which are unconnected, I lost my control, it becomes a space debris. But they will be going around in that area only. But next satellite when I make, I am not making with that height, that weight, that size. because my electronics make it much bigger and better and better. Earlier television was too huge. Now televisions are very small. So my technology will tell I can make a satellite with less weight, less volume. So it will never go and stay there. It will stay somewhere on the bottom. So always chance of hitting what I am making is less. But still there are plenty of people sending from different country every day, every moment, every hour. Everything will become, after some time it become a big debris. So India is not doing great research on debris, but many countries like Europe, America, Russia, China, Australia, there are a lot of developed nations who are spending lot of time, lot of money, lot of companies, lot of entrepreneurs, lot of new initiative business people to find debris. How can you bring it down, or how can you make it into dust and smash it there? Once you make it into two pieces, I told you the weight of the item will determine where it will stay. If I make it into two pieces, immediately what will happen? It will come to a lower orbit. It will come closer to Earth. And the speed in which it comes, what will happen sometime? It will come into atmosphere. Because anything comes very fast, immediately it will enter in the atmosphere. Not the weight is less, but with the weight, once it is moving, momentum will decide. The momentum is more when the weight is less. Mass into velocity. Velocity will increase. Mass is less, velocity increases, momentum is constant, so it comes fast and then it enters in atmosphere. So you imagine lot of items enter in the atmosphere. What will happen? It will all become into small dust. So atmosphere will become full of dust particle. It will not reach under the earth, because anything which is in a wind, which automatically, have you seen the whirlpool? Any small item there also will go around that, right?
Yes.
Because of the weight is too not very big, item is not very big, it will be in the atmosphere. Atmosphere is totally rotating in what speed? You see the earth speed in which it is rotating. Automatically it will go, and it is whirling like this. It's moving round and round and round and round. So all the items which are bits and pieces, along with the atmosphere, it will go round and round and round and round on the earth, and it will start hitting each other. But when our rocket goes, it will also hit there. Again it becomes pieces, it will come. So you will see some small particles moving. The air becomes polluted, atmosphere becomes polluted, the refraction will become different, the color of the atmosphere will change, the light will become different, the energy will become different. Then maybe after a few years it will become very big problem. So there are a lot of people working today to understand how is it going to affect. How is it going to affect it? Because sunlight will change. Wherever density is more, this will get agglomerated. The collision will happen. Man-made space debris only will have this problem. Other than that, there could be natural things also falling from the suns, falling from the moon, falling from other planets. We don't know. Many things may come from different solar system to our solar system. So debris removal is a big process which is being thought about by different developed nations. Otherwise, it may also stop our communication with the satellites, because we need a pure atmosphere to communicate. If there are a lot of objections, then probably you have seen when the rain comes, immediately the TV will show a signal is bad because of bad weather. Imagine all our communication happens with satellite, lot of debris are there. Always we will get this message. A small cloud is enough for us not to communicate with the antenna. What will happen if there is a big debris in the space? We will not be able to communicate to anything. If we are not able to communicate, all the artificial satellites will fail. All the artificial satellites fails, all the weather prediction, GPS, everything. GPS will not work. GPS is 20,000 kilometers high. Telecommunication, weather prediction satellite 36,000 kilometer high. Our remote sensing satellites 500 to 1000 kilometer height. Atmosphere is 140 kilometer. So have an idea about the space. How is it distributed? Write down and keep it. Oh, these are the heights in which. Then you will feel this is where the debris are. Atmosphere is here. There are debris there. It may fall, come down. It's like a bullet being pushed inside your body. Some asteroids, astronauts, all that to debris pieces which is kept by people, everything will come down. Okay.
Okay.
Good enough?
Yeah, that's it.
Anything more? What Rishika can do is, yesterday I was too busy. So I did not even looked at, and I couldn't send it to many people. Best thing could be if you can tell 2 days early.
Yeah. Okay.
Not for me. I can, many people, morning only I have posted it. No. So many people can make their children also to post it. This is a 8th grade syllabus, but I am sure it's a general knowledge more than 8th grade assignment. No. So many people will get benefited. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Love you, Rishika, for good questions. I probably one of the best student who keep on asking lot of such questions with one session requirement. But each subject is like a session. We can go hours together. But for you to write 6 pages, I think this is good enough, right?
Yes.
Now you got sufficient thread for, though I have not given full details. I think thread is what is to be given. You know where to catch and how to go. Correct?
Yes.
Was it useful?
Yes, it was very
Yeah.
useful.
So keep posting some questions, but give at least 1 or 2 days so that I know you like Fridays. Maybe you can put on Wednesdays so others can come on. Okay. So I have got something again in the afternoon. Tomorrow I have got some 2 sessions. Tomorrow evening onwards we are taking out what India needs. Another series of session for 27 days. Where many speakers will come and expositions will be there. That's like a dialogue between me and people. So putting them together. So a lot of activities are happening. Then next August 1st onwards, Bhagavad Gita teaching every Sunday evening 7:30 Indian time to 10 o'clock. Maybe 22 weeks, and that is being done by United Nations initiative. So a lot of people from Europe, America also will join. So we'll see how Americans will learn probably the slokas. Sometimes some of them are much better they will learn faster and they have got more concentration and effort. I don't know how many will join, but that's a schedule for us. Okay? Good, thank you. If any questions, anybody has got any questions associated with this? Anusha from Kannur, right?
Yes, sir.
What do you do, Anusha? What are you doing?
Evening work.
Okay. Lahari, Pramodji is running school, Samskriti. Yeah, Lahari, where are you from?
I asked you, I'm from Hyderabad.
Yeah.
I asked you a question a few days ago.
What is that?
Do you use decoy satellites to confuse other nations or like disguise the satellite while doing some kind of information gathering or anything like that?
See, generally, most of the satellites have, we don't say what is the satellite doing, but the satellite's health parameter is being addressed by the help of other nations also. Because when it is above India, we know how to understand the health parameter. When it goes the other part of the earth, we need their support. So every satellite gets its health parameter. Health parameter means roll, pitch, yaw, speed, control, velocity measurement, how to tilt it. Everything is being understood by the help of other. So we tell others also that we have got a satellite. But what camera you are using? Every camera need not be told. When I have got my eyes, I go in front of somebody, I may use another hidden camera on my pen, which I will not disclose. So some of the satellites use some other cameras within that system, which will not be. And then we can also have such a system where we can jam other informations. We can also tap other information. These are all high secret informations which are generally used by satellites which are having some military purposes. Civil purpose, we all associate each other and help each other to understand the system, and then that is a global understanding between countries. We will help each other.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
What do you do, Lahari?
I'm in 10th standard, sorry.
Okay, which class? Where?
10th.
Where?
Bhavan Sri Ramakrishna Vidyalaya.
Oh, Sainik Puri.
Yes.
How do you know me?
You came for judging the poster presentation in.
But send a message
The
also, that if you send a message, some question, if I don't answer, keep reminding sometime, because one question I may not post a session like this, but I can always add that as part of this. And don't wait for me to ask, what do you have any question? You could also say I am Lahari soon after that, and then say I am not giving a gap. That's my problem. Yeah. Good, Lahari.
Okay, sir.
My sons, both of them studied in Ramakrishna Vidyalaya. Earlier it was called Sri Bhavan's Ramakrishna Vidyalaya. It was first governed by Sri Ramakrishna Mutt. Later they were gifted to Bhavans. Now Neelima is from Bhavans from Abu Dhabi. Lahari is from Bhavans from Hyderabad. And where my children studied, and I used to spend every Saturday at least 3 hours in Bhavans school. I conducted maximum number of programs there. Geomapicus, teachers training program, children science congress, guiding them, creating. Every teacher was like my colleague, because every Saturday I will go and pick up my younger son from KG and wait for my elder son. There were different timing, 11:30 and 1:30. So nearly 1 hour early I will go, spend a lot of time. That was like my second resting place, where I did a lot of teaching. Most of the teachers are my good friends earlier, not now.
That's nice, sir.
Yeah. Good. So today no class, Lahari?
We had exams today. Today was the last test. It ended at 10:30.
Okay. Good. So send a message, once again a WhatsApp message, so that I know, oh, you attended. So I will add you into my broadcasting list if it are already not there. Anaka is there, Sri Harsha, Anusha, Shrikant, Geeta Lakshmi. Namaste to all of you. Thank you all of you for joining. If there are no questions, fine. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. What do Lahari's parents do, Lahari?
Sir, my father works at Peridot Technologies, and my mom's a housewife.
Where do you stay?
Nearby to Capra Lake. A little more inside AS Ramagar.
Okay, Capra Lake, I know. Yeah. Good. Thank you. Rishika, bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Namaste.